Good morning, everyone. I am Mary Ann Aguilar, and today I'll be discussing to you one of the topic in our Sned 14 Early Childhood Education, which is the benefits and challenges of inclusion. But before that, I have here some definitions that is aligned to my topic. First is inclusion. So what is inclusion? Inclusion is the practice or policy of providing equal access to opportunities and resources for people who might otherwise be excluded or marginalized, such as those who have physical or intellectual disabilities and members of other minority groups. So inclusion, it is a broad concept. It refers that to the practice of creating an environment where everyone has the opportunity to participate, contribute, and feel valued regardless of their background, ability, or characteristics. It's all about recognizing and respecting differences and providing support and accommodations to ensure that everyone can reach their full potential. So that is the meaning of inclusion. Next is I have here the definition of inclusive classroom. It says here that an inclusive classroom means students with and without learning differences all learn together in a one classroom. So an inclusive classroom is a learning environment that values diversity, promotes equality, and supports the diverse needs of all students regardless of their background, ability, or characteristic. It is a safe place, or it is a space where every student feels welcome, supported, and able to reach their full potential. Next is how does teaching inclusion benefits everyone? So studies have shown that students of all developmental styles benefit from their involvement in an inclusive learning environment. Teaching inclusion benefits everyone by fostering a supportive and diverse learning environment that promotes academic, social, and emotional growth for all students, regardless of their background or abilities. For students, inclusion leads to improved academic outcomes, increased empathy and understanding, and better social skills, preparing them for a life in a diverse and global society. While the benefits of inclusion in teachers is that from professional growth and development, it increased their creativity and innovation and improved classroom management. The community also benefits from inclusion because it increased social cohesion, better preparation for the workforce, and increased civic engagement. And ultimately, teaching inclusion promotes social justice, reduces inequality, and fosters a culture of inclusion, benefiting society as a whole by preparing future leaders who value diversity and inclusion. Next is we will go on to the benefits of inclusion. First is in the social and emotional development, rather. So, children learn from each other, develop friendships, and learn to accept differences. So, in an inclusive classroom, students learn to interact with peers who have different abilities, backgrounds, and experiences. So, these diversities help students develop essential social skills such as communication, empathy, and conflict resolution. By building friendships and accepting differences, students improve their emotional growth and develop a stronger relationship. For example, a student with autism may struggle with social cues, but with the help of their peers and teachers as well, they can learn to navigate these interactions and develop meaningful relation. This, in turn, can lead to increased confidence, self-esteem, and a sense of belonging. Next is in academic outcomes. So inclusive classrooms often use differentiated teaching methods, which cater to various learning styles and needs. So this approach can lead to a better academic performance for both students with and without disabilities. There is this collaboration among student and teachers also enhances the learning experience of a learner. For example, a student with dyslexia may require additional support with reading, but with the help of a reading interventionist, they can access the same curriculum as their peers. This is not only improves their academic outcomes but also help to close the achievement gap. Next is empathy. Children who are typically developing learn empathy from their fears. When students without disabilities learn alongside peers with students with disabilities, they develop empathy and understanding. So this helps them appreciate the challenges faced by others and become more supportive and inclusive individuals. For example, a student may learn about the experiences of a peer with a physical disability and develop a greater understanding on the importance of accessibility. So, this empathy can translate to other areas of life, such as community service or social activism. Next is we have the self esteem. Children learn to have a positive self image and respect for others. So, inclusive classrooms promote a sense of belonging and acceptance, which can boost student self esteem. By valuing diversity and individual differences, students develop a positive self image and learn to respect others. For example, a student who struggles with self acceptance may find support and encouragement from their peers and teachers, leading to increased confidence and self worth. Next is the preparation for adulthood. Children learn to persist in the face of obstacles and are prepared for an inclusive society. Inclusive classrooms prepare students for life in an inclusive society. So, by learning to navigate diverse environments and interact with people from different backgrounds, students develop essential life skills such as problem solving, adaptability, and social responsibility. For instance, a student may learn to work with a team to solve a problem, which can translate to future careers or community involvement. Next is access to support services. Children have access to speech therapists, reading specialists, and other service providers. Inclusive classrooms often providing access to specialists such as speech therapists, reading interventionists, and counselors. So with this support, it can benefit students with and without disabilities, helping them to overcome challenges and achieve their full potential. For example, a student with, let's say, for example, a speech impairment may work with a uh, he or she may work with a speech therapist to improve their communication skills, and it can lead to increased confidence and participation in class. Next is we have also the challenges of inclusion. First is the lack of resources. There may be a lack of resources to support inclusive practices. Some schools may not have sufficient materials, technology, or personnel to support inclusive practices. So, this can limit the effectiveness of inclusive education and create challenges for teachers and students. Let's take, for example, a school may not have enough assistive technology devices such as wheelchairs and or those communication devices kasi alam naman natin that they are very expensive, and those devices are makikita lang or mabibili lang sa ibang bansa. So, it can hinder the participation of students with disabilities. Next is the resistance from parents and educators. Parents and educators may not be comfortable with inclusive practices. So, we all know naman that not all parents and educators may be comfortable with the idea of inclusion. They may have concerns about the impact on their child's education or feel uncertain about how to implement inclusive practices. For example, a parent may worry that their child will be held back by the presence of students with disabilities, while a teacher may feel unsure about how to adapt their teaching methods to meet the needs of diverse learners. Next is the complex social and sensory needs. Some conditions like autism spectrum disorders or ASD may pose difficulties in an inclusive environment. So, certain conditions such as ASD or the autism spectrum disorder, we all know that it may require specialized support and accommodations. Inclusive classroom may need to adapt to meet the unique needs of students with complex social and sensory requirements. For example, a student with ESD may require a sensory-friendly environment which can involve adjustment to lighting, yung noise level po natin, and other environmental factors. Next is bullying. So students with impairments may face bullying. Students with disabilities may be more vulnerable to bullying, which can have a significant impact on their emotional well-being. In an inclusive classroom, it must prioritize in creating a safe space and supportive environment for all students. For example, a student with a disability may be more likely to experience social isolation or teasing, which can lead to decreased self-esteem and increased anxiety. And the last one is the lack of communication. Lack of communication, understanding, or support from families can hinder effective implementation. So, we all know that effective communication between families and schools is crucial for a successful inclusion. But when the communication breaks down, it can limit the effectiveness of inclusive practices and create challenges for students and teachers. For example, a parent may not be informed about what their child's progress or may not be involved in the development of their child's individualized education plan or yung tinatawag nating IEP. So, it can lead to confusion and frustration between the parents and the IEP makers. So, that is one of the challenges of inclusion, the lack of communication. And that is all. Yan po ang aking report. All about the benefits and challenges of inclusion. Again, I am Mary Ana Aguilar, and that will be all. Thank you.